we need to put the pressure on the Connecticut legislature here because we need to start building. We don't have enough homes to sell here at the one team. We just went through that list, 21 under contracts, 11 new listings. We've got the lowest inventory in the country. And one of the big things, as I mentioned before, that's been helping a lot of states rebound from such low inventory is new construction. But here in Connecticut, we still continue to be one of the bottom three building states in the country. Connecticut, New Jersey, and Rhode Island have lost housing units per capita.
The only states out of the 50 states, only 3 states lost housing per capita. So the number of units of homes available per person since 2020, only 3 states in the country went down since 2020: Connecticut, New Jersey, and Rhode Island.
Yeah, most other states have built more than enough housing to account for population growth. The increase in supply of apartments helped drive down the nation's median rent. We know rent price it's now cheaper to rent for the first time in I think about 4 years than it is to own.
Maybe nationally. I don't know about Connecticut.
Yeah, I don't know about Connecticut. But yeah, it's just it continues to astonish me how, all right, so here we go. Nationwide, the ratio ranges from 1.8 people per unit in Maine to 2.7 people per unit in Utah. Okay, according to the state line analysis. In most places, the ratio of people to housing units is shrinking as housing supply grows. Story's different here in Connecticut, New Jersey, and Rhode Island. Those 3 states, the housing supply is lagging behind population growth with about 3 new residents per new housing unit in Connecticut and Rhode Island and almost 4 residents per unit in New Jersey. So basically, we need to build another house for every unit of people, right? So we're like lagging behind 1 per 3.
3 to 1. Wow.
3 to 1.
So yeah, so that's either just people being born, new humans, or people moving to Connecticut. Which is funny, years ago, I remember back in 2012, folks were kind of concerned everybody was leaving Connecticut, but things have shifted. People want to live in Connecticut now. They're coming.
Oh, we've got booming businesses. So we got Electric Boat. They're bringing in 5,000 jobs. We've got Pfizer. We've got Hartford Healthcare, Yale New Haven Hospital. Everyone is
some of the pharmaceutical companies, insurance companies.
Yeah, so we definitely need to figure out a way to start building here in Connecticut. I mean, like, just to kind of put in contrast, so Texas, which includes most of Austin, or Travis County, Texas, I apologize, which includes most of Austin, they've added about 99,500 new residents and 120,000 new units since 2020. The disparity helps explain why the Austin area had the largest drop in median rent, because now they have an overabundance of inventory in Texas, right? So their market, we sit at about 2.3 months of supply here in Connecticut. I believe when Byron mentioned it a few weeks ago, Texas was closer to like that 6-7 months of supply. So almost triple what we have here for single family homes available for sale. So Connecticut, you got to start building. And I did hear, and I got to do some more research before we really break it down, but I was at an open house and a long time Connecticut resident shared with me that there is a proposal for the state to take over the rules and regulations around building in all towns instead of having it be town dependent. Have you heard that?
I mean, yeah, there's been some legislation on that topic. I have heard a bit about that.
Do you think it'll go through? Do you think it's a good idea, or do you want to wait until we kind of dig in some articles and really break it down?
Yeah, I mean, this is always a controversial topic. I mean, it's kind of a, not in my backyard situation, which I empathize with. I mean, a lot of people love Connecticut because of the charm and the downtowns and the greens.
Right.
And I'm on board with all of that.
I'm one of those people. Yeah, that's one of the things I love about it.
The town green is, the historic districts, really what makes Connecticut special. A lot of the independent businesses, independent restaurants. I love that about Connecticut. But we, as a state, we have choices. Decisions need to be made. I mean, if that many people are coming to Connecticut and we're building so few houses, where's everybody going to live? So solutions need to be found, and we need to get a little creative and be a little open-minded and say, where can we put some housing? Right. I think if we just say, no, we're not going to build anymore, everything's going to stay the same, then we're going to have a housing shortage.
Which we've had for a long time. We've been under building for a very long time, well since before the pandemic. The pandemic obviously just put even a little bit more constraints on it. But yeah, no, we need to do something to kind of soften
Maybe we can
the
find
load
like,
on builders.
yeah. I mean, we almost need like a new city or like a new development where somewhere where I mean, that's what they're doing in these other states. They're just kind of like
Creating new towns,
creating new
right?
towns.
Right.
We don't have the land, and it's tough too. Is like, well, even if you're like, oh, that's a good idea. Let's take a small town and turn it into a new suburban area. Everybody who lives in that town is gonna be like, well, not my town.
Right.
Like that sounds like a great idea, but don't do it in my
Right. Doing
town.
it in my town,
And
right?
I mean, I can appreciate that. I mean, I guess if you buy a house in a rural area, you want to live in a rural area. You don't like love it when
Right.
all
You
of a
don't want to see
sudden
high
there's,
rises popping
yeah,
up
they
and
start
strip
building
malls
apartment
and
buildings.
yeah.
So it's a tough situation. You know, where are we gonna put this housing?
It is. It truly is, and we'll continue to monitor it and to keep an eye on the inventory and bring you any updates that happen with the proposal for the state to take over regulations in terms of building instead of it being town by town dependent. I don't think it's going to happen anytime fast, and I don't think the reprieve of inventory is going to come anytime fast, especially with how fast this market is moving. We got started a little late with the spring market, and now we're sprinting. We're off to the
We're a little
races.
set in our ways in Connecticut.